everybody, how we doing? Welcome to the roundup. We're back once more, and it was a better week for myself and Dak.
Yes, but you want me to talk now?
That's usually what happens when I stop talking. You start talking.
Mate, a lot can change in a week in football, but listen, we'll get carried away, but definitely in a much better mood this week, mate, because a couple of games this week and the results have went well personally, mate. So happier this week, mate, yes.
Smashing. Before we start, a shout out to our sponsor, VSN. Best kit suppliers about. We're going to have some new gear coming soon, Dak, so I'm looking forward to that.
Aye, so you need to kick me out because I'm looking awfully shabby with my own gear on, you know what I mean?
I know, mate, you never even wear the stuff anymore. I feel like you don't love us anymore.
Day one of them, mate, see the weight I've put on, mate, it didn't fit me.
Right, we're going to move on. We'll start with the South Challenge Cup. Aldeer 2, Beath 3, 2 each, and then Aldeer 1, and Beath 1 after extra time. Campbelltown 2, Vale Leven 4, Petershill 1, BSC 3, Glasgow United 1, The Rock 3, Kilburnie 2, Greenock 1, St Cadoc's 1, Port 0, Yoker 6, Renfrew 3, Bonneton 3, Newmains 0, Craigmark 6, Dalbeattie Star 2, Girvan 1, Larkhall 0, Lanark 5, Muirkirk 2, Maple 3, Lochar Thistle 2, Cumbernauld 1, Glasgow Uni 0, Dunnypace 1, Finnart 0, Eglinton 0, Meda 2 on the Friday night. Start with Ardeer and Beath, mate. Ardeer 2 up, looking like they were actually going to make it through. Beath showed their quality, managed to get it back 2 each and then win 3-2. I'm actually, don't get me wrong, I think that Sean, I've not seen his interview he's done, but I think Sean can be really proud of that. But I did, watching the scores come in, I did feel a bit gutted for him.
Aye, I think it looked by all accounts people for thinking that there was an upset in the cards. But Beav have shown their character not, and they've brought on Frizy, not me, started in the bench and they've brought him on and he's bagged the equaliser, I think, and I think he's bagged the winner 10. He's got a couple of goals, and when you can bring on that quality, it always helps. But by all accounts, Aldeer would have put in a tremendous display and pushed the top league champions all the way. And I did look so close to a potential upset, but one thing's for sure for Beav, that's good for the morale, even though they're expected to win that, just maybe the way they've went and done it, they've had to grind it out. But you know what it's like, PG in the cup, sometimes it doesn't matter how you get through, it's just getting through the rounds. But Aldeer can definitely hold their heads high. They were only a few minutes away from winning the game and taking massive plaudits, and they still should get that anyway because they've pushed them all the way and they've been very unlucky. But well done to be there in the next round. But Sean will take loads and loads of positives for that, and just shows you, mate, there's no easy games in the cups.
Definitely not. Couple of wee upsets for me. Yoker taking 6 off Renfrew. Yoker have had a decent start to the season. Renfrew obviously not so much in the first division, but I think that's met today with the quality of the division. I was surprised to see Yoker take 6 off them.
Aye, and listen, it's hard to know what's kind of happened, but it's obviously a brilliant display with Yoker. He scored 6 goals and a right good cup game as well. 9 goals in it, good value for money, but great result for them. But Renfrew and Jimmy, the breeding butters of the league and making sure that they first and foremost stay in that league and just consolidate, because Jimmy's had to deal with losing good players as well, and especially Kieran. You see how well Kieran Divers is doing at Beav, you know what I mean? He's a massive loss to them as well. So he'll be disappointed because they obviously won a cup last year and they want to do well in the cups. It's always a good distraction, but very well done to Yoker. Great result for Gordon and his boys.
Big result for me as well. I don't know what's going on at Perthshire. You've seen the lost to 10 goals to Ardrossan. Then they go and get a better result the week later, and then they lose 3-1 to BSC. I think BSC, we've touched on it, I think they're improving year on year.
Mm-hmm.
But again, surprised that they went and beat Perthshire.
Yeah, I think they get 3 men sent off.
Right, well, that'll do
I
you.
think, mate, don't quote me on it. I think You know that way I don't take notes, mate. It's just all up there with the roundups. But I'm sure I've seen somewhere. I might be wrong, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm sure I've seen they either get a couple of 3 men sent off in the game. Whether or no it was at the end of the game and the game was maybe done, or I don't know how it's panned out. But one thing's for sure, it's a great scalp for BSC, and it's brilliant. We always championed it with the fourth division, so
We do.
it's always good when a team in the fourth division get results against the higher up teams, because it shows the quality that's in that Division 4. But it's a great result for BSC.
Just looking now on Pershill's Twitter to see if anything was mentioned about it. Petershill went 1-0 up. BSC went to 1 each just before half time. And then 2-1, 3-1, that's what it says. Doesn't say if there was any red cards, but nonetheless, still a tremendous result for BSC. And like you said, we championed the fourth division a lot, so that is a good one. Just to finish.
See if I'm mistaken, in Perth, you'll never get anybody sent off, and it's an even better result for BSC. Exactly. But I'm just thought I seen it somewhere.
We'll not dwell too much on the cup. We'll move on to the league in a minute. But final one for me, Meda beating Eglinton 2-0. I was talking to somebody who was at the game, and he said he was not overly impressed with the Meda, but thought Eglinton gave a good performance. And it shows, I know that in relative terms, Eglinton have spent a wee bit of money in that division, but in that division, there's no much going about. So a wee bit isn't anything compared to the top teams. But they look like they're definitely putting a better side together, and they look like they're definitely a more competitive team than their first season, which I still think their first season wasn't too bad for just coming in.
I you know, like I always like, I've spoke up very highly of Eglinton and how they're going about their business. I think that was obviously a right potential banana skin for the Meda, and they've left it late just to seal it with I think it was big boy Ennis. It's got the goal at the end, the 90th minute. And by all accounts, for what I heard as well, PG, I heard Eglinton were unlucky and had their chances in the game. Got to remember with Meda as well. Meda have had 6 games in the space of 6 days there, because they played us on a Wednesday and then they went down there on the Friday. Know what I mean? Very, very difficult.
It's hard, but they've got the job done, I suppose, and that's ultimately all that matters.
They've got the job done, and they've kept a clean sheet, and they've avoided being the other end of an upset, and that's the most important thing for Giffnock. But they've had the Arthurley game on the Saturday, us on the Wednesday, and then that on the Friday. So it's a busy wee schedule for them. But listen, it sounded, by all accounts, it sounded a good game. That wee bit of derby feel to it as well, and Meda have come out and tap, and maybe doesn't surprise many, but Eglinton and all can be proud of their display, and they've pushed a team in the top league all the way, and it just shows you how far that they've came as well. But well done to Meda, because to keep the clean sheet, and you know what it's like, man. Sometimes the games are horrible, man, because all the pressure's on you. It's massive amount of pressure on you. So well done to Kevin, these players.
Definitely, they needed that after a hard week. Moving on to the Premier League, Talbot 0, Clydebank 1, Darvel 4, Rob Roy 0, Grafton 2, Pollock 5, Hurlford 0, the Bens 1, Largs 2, Arthurley 0. So Dak, 5-2 against Glenafton. That's a good result. Always hard going down to Glenafton. I know that Glenafton are having a bit of a mixed bag, probably leaning towards a brilliant start, but that's a hard place to go. That's a good result for you.
Aye, mate, listen, we're really happy with it. To be honest with you, first half we were excellent. If we should have went in. I think we went in 3-0 up at half time, and we were 3-0 up in the first 15 minutes, and to be honest, we missed a good few chances as well, and probably the most disappointing thing is we didn't go up more. But in second half, fair play to Glenafton, they kept at it, they kept trying to play, they kept coming at us, and the end of the day, man, like, you would have took a 1-0 at Glenafton before a ball was even kicked. So to get down there, win the game 5-2, we followed with a hat-trick, unbelievable, excellent. So he was yesterday, and there was a few others as well that were excellent, but really, really happy with it. Obviously, we're no delighted with the 2 goals that we gave away, but they could have been avoidable. But listen, it's been a good few days for us, but that's what it is, you know what I mean? We're not going to get carried away with a couple of wins because you've seen this league how quickly things can change. So we just need to keep working away, but definitely much better. And the boys have been excellent. The response since the Benbourg game's been different class, man. So, but Glenafton had good wee spells in the game, to be fair to them.
Well, you talk about the response last weekend. You're quite low after a heavy defeat at Benburb, a team that on paper you should be looking at beating. But then you come away, you reply on the Wednesday with a 6-0 against the Meda. Then again on Saturday, you get a 5-2. So 11 goals in the 2 games. I think that's pretty much the way that you would have wanted the boys to react to it.
Aye, listen, man, we've got good players, mate, and we really do believe in them. The gaffer believes in them, and I know we keep going on about it, but it's a big new group, not I mean 14, 15 new players, but they'll get better as the season goes along. But listen, we're going to have bumps in the road. We're going to have bad games again. We're going to lose games of football. That's just inevitable. But we just got to try and keep a bit of level of consistency, and we'll keep working hard at it, and we'll not get carried away because we've done nothing really. We've won a couple of games of football, but we just need to keep putting runs together and consistency if we want to be anywhere near it. But it's listen, very early days, and you'll not see us getting too ahead of ourselves. But really happy with the week we've had. But to be fair, because that was a slow one last week.
Nah. Another team who are right up their ways, Clydebank, beating the Talbot away from home, 1-0, important win. Moff wasn't there on Saturday, or he was only there for a half because he had a wee operation on the Friday night, so wish him well for that.
Did you take
I went
him
down, I
up
gave
there
it, do you know what I did? I went
No.
down, I gave him some grapes, I bought the Lucozade, gave him a wee cuddle and that I stayed with him for a bit just to make sure.
I heard you were giving him foot massages and everything, didn't you?
Don't talk about my pal, all right?
No, listen, I hope Moff's all right. I've seen him. He's been on social media and that, so it's good to see that he's lively and that. And obviously, Gaz has held the fort for him, and he'll be loving it because it's a win and a clean sheet. It's a very good, and it's a very good result for Clydebank because it doesn't matter what anybody says about Talbot, they're still very dangerous, and I think that they're due to turn the corner and get a few results very soon. And I think that to get down there and keep a clean sheet, Nicky Little scored a good goal. I seen that today. It was a right good finish, turning finish, and brilliant result for Clydebank. They'll be delighted with it. You know they're delighted because I've got that many Clydebank people that I've got on social media that you know how happy they are. But well done to them, and they've had a good run of form, and they're undefeated. And I think it was 5 games in there, I seen, and well done to him and Kirky and that for holding the fort while Moff was recovering, and hopefully he's back in the dugout soon. But nah, well done to them.
Well, they played Hurlford during the week, and obviously we've spoken quite highly of Hurlford. We'll obviously touch the result in a minute. We've spoken highly of them the last few weeks, how well they've started. One each, based off the highlights I saw and from people talking on Twitter, it looked like Clydebank should have won it. And even Drew, who does the photography work for Hurlford, I seen him talking, basically saying that they stole the point after Clydebank, which I suppose is what Hurlford need to do. Teams need to do that if they want to have a chance of winning. But it shows Clydebank have picked up. On the Talbot, I have said that I think it's going to be a really tough season for them. I could be miles out, but I genuinely think, based off of what we've seen so far, Talbot will be lucky to be top 8 for me this year. 1 win out of 6. They're not losing many goals, to be fair. They're actually looking at the goals conceded. There's only 2 teams that have conceded less goals than them, but they're just more scoring goals than them. But if that comes, then obviously it changes.
They get Boylan, I think's back. Boylan's been out for the start of the season. He's not kicked a ball yet, and I think he's back, which will be a help. He doesn't maybe score hundreds and hundreds of goals, but I rate him very highly, mate. He's a handful. So getting players like that back and they'll find their feet. They just need one result to go their way, and I really do believe that they'll kick on because, as you say, they're losing games with small margins. It was like 1-0 we beat them. We were very fortunate in the day. Clydebank have beaten them 1-0, and it's quite tight games. And I think that a result, as I said, I think it'll be just round the corner. I mean, they're too good a club, and they've got good players there, naughty. But I think it's been a disappointing start. They'll be disappointed with it, but it's still early days.
Strange looking at a league table after 6 games. I know it's not a huge amount of games, but after 6 games, seeing a Talbot in the relegation spot, it's a strange thing to see.
Yeah,
But
that is, mate.
But moving on, we mentioned Hurlford there, beating 1-0 by the Bens at home. I'm getting to the stage now. I'm going to put the Bens and the result of the week this week because they've done it. That's 2. They've taken 4 off of Hughes, taken 4 off of Clydebank, beating Hurlford. So they've beaten 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in the league. It's obviously they're losing to teams who aren't up the top, so maybe it's a mindset thing. But that's a tremendous result for them.
Aye, and that's the biggest compliment that I could give to the Bens is I wasn't surprised when I heard the result, you know that, because we haven't played against them. They're going to cause teams a lot of problems, and I think especially they're more suited to playing against the higher up teams, I think they're, because they're really good at showing in and then hitting you on the break and the way they play and if you want to play high and you want to go and play attacking, they can pick you off and stuff like that. So I'm no surprised with that. I think it's a brilliant result, especially away from home. It shows you that they can win the games at home, but they can take the scalp away from home. And I tell you what, they've started the season really well, Benz, and they deserve a lot of credit because a lot of people have had them down as potential relegation candidates. I know, mate, I know. And listen, if I didn't ever think that would have been the case because they're a good side and they've got some good players. And I still think Hurlford are going to be up there and thereabouts. I still think they're a very good side. But for Bamber to go down there and win the game 1-0, keep a clean sheet is absolute top notch. And for me, that still would be in one of the results of the weekend. Even though it's not a shock to me, I just think the way Hurlford have started as well, and they've been away from home, I think it's a brilliant result.
Aye, it is. It's an excellent result for them. Another 2, Darvel 4-0 win against Rob Roy. I did fancy Darvel to win. I was surprised that it was so convincing because Rob Roy had an excellent start. I mean, if Rob Roy had won at the weekend, they'd have been top of the league. They've had an excellent start. But maybe also it's starting to look like Tony's starting to get his ideas into place and things are starting to tick a bit for him. That's a good result for them.
Aye, well, I think it first and foremost, it's a brilliant result, 4-0. As you say, against the Rob Roy side that have started the season really well, and Goldie and his staff deserve a lot of credit because again, they're another team that maybe some people tipped to be down near the bottom, obviously, and they're proving people wrong, and they've got some good players there as well. But for Tony and the Darvel team, I think I've seen some of that's their first home win of the season.
Really?
All right, aye, because they drew with Hull at home and then they get beat after an afternoon. So they're a good side, mate, and they're quite they're quite similar where they've got a lot of new players there as well. So I think that they'll go for strength to strength, and they'll be one of the sides pushing this season, and that's a good result. To score 4 goals, boy, Leon Murphy, I think he's had a really good game, scored a couple of goals, and the quality they've got in their squad, you know what I mean? It's a great result for them. But Kirky Rob Royal will be too downbeat. They've still had an excellent start, and they just go back to training this week, and then they can sort it out again next week. But aye, great result for Darvel, and keeping a clean sheet will be pleasing for Tony as well.
Good result for Largs as well, 2-0 against Athley. Largs seem to just be that team that just keep ticking away and ticking away. They'll lose this game, they'll win that game, but they're keeping themselves in a good position. That's another strong win for them.
Rate them very highly, because tell you what, they work so hard for their manager. You know what I mean? Every player would run through a brick wall for Arnie. It's up there, and they're a good side, and they've got good players that can cause you problems. So I think that's a great result for them against Arthurlie. Also, an RPG's what I see get well to Rabi, the goalie coach, coming up. You know what I mean? Because it was took no well last midweek in the
Right.
game against Talbot. During the game, took unwell, and the game was abandoned. And I know a lot of people that know him really well. I can't say that I know him really well, but everybody speaks really highly of him, and he's only young and he's got a young family. So I just think that we're all our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family, and we just hope that he can pull through and we can see him back at football, or even just see him back amongst his family and back in his family home as soon as possible, Rab. So you take care, big man, and the best of luck and speedy recovery, please, mate.
Well said, mate. We'll move on to the first division. Drumchapel 2, Cambuslang 0, Borough 1, Blantyre 0, Colwynham 1, Shotts 1, Glencairn 5, Petershill 1, Thornywood 5, Whitlets 2. As usual, I'll start with us. On Saturday, 2-0 win against Cambuslang. I thought we were decent. I thought we looked a bit more sure of ourselves on Saturday. It was a bit more of a performance that was expected after losing 3-1 to Thornywood, which was a tough one to take. Thornywood on Tuesday, excuse me, were sound defensively and hit us on the break, and they did it really well. I still think we could have maybe got something out of it, but Thornywood did really well, and we'll touch on them in a minute. Another good win for them. But on the game Saturday, we deserved our win. I thought we were quite comfortable. Could have been another couple of goals. Cambuslang were better than the 7-0 result against Ashfield. Obviously, that's Ashfield done really well. Bit of a freak result. But I think that's what we needed. The kind of feel in the dressing room was quite low on Tuesday, obviously. And it was good to see the boys pick up and get a win on Saturday. So it was a good result for us.
I think when you lose a game, and Cambuslang would have felt the same, then the next thing you want to do, you want to bounce back as soon as possible and get a result. And sometimes it doesn't matter how well you play. So if the Drum have played quite well as well and they've kept a clean sheet, it's pleasing for Hopi and that. But the most important thing is getting 3 points again. And it's good to hear that Cambuslang have obviously had a better display than they had through the week against Ashfield. And did we Peter get a hoodie, you know?
I spoke to him, aye.
Surprised you're no black and blue, boy.
Aye, I spoke to him.
You can tell me once this is finished, mate. Right?
Oh, no, it wasn't bad, actually. It was quite
No, but listen, well done to the Drum because, as I said, the disappointment and to then bounce back so quickly, that's what it's all about.
Big win for me in the league. Big result of the weekend. Glencairn 5, Petershill 1. Didn't see that coming. Petershill scoring a lot. Obviously, they never scored many yesterday, but they're scoring a lot of goals, but conceding quite a lot of goals as well.
Aye.
Glencairn, apparently, I was on holiday when we played them. We were 2 up at half time. Then we should have been a couple more ahead, apparently. But then we were lucky to come away with a point because they were apparently a really good second half. But that's a good result for them. And I'm not going to lie, I thought they'd be kind of hovering about mid-table this season, maybe top end of the table. Didn't see them. They're in a position now where they're top of the league and they're having a really strong season. It's probably more what we expected for them last year and didn't get. And I think it's a really good result for them.
Aye, I think you're right. I didn't think maybe myself that they were going to maybe be up there challenging, but I was speaking to somebody a couple of days ago about them, and they're meant to be very good, mate, this season. A lot of young players, and I think they've got a good mix between youth and experience. And a couple of people I spoke to said they're very good, and they've got some good players there, and that's a brilliant result. Because Petershill have been flying, and Sinky and Oz been flying because he got a hat-trick.
Hat-trick, yeah, right, I know.
He scored again on Saturday, albeit it's not been on a good result at the end yet. But we McManus, my boy, the Buff,
Aye.
the old Ashfield mate, Sarri Buff, mate, with a wee hat-trick.
I know. Good
Mate,
player.
I think he's got about 6 goals already, 6 and 6 this season.
See when you look at that, you mentioned Sinky as well. You look at even though Slicks got his bus pass, still another good goal scorer. There is a lot of guys in this league who just score goals. You know what I mean? It's what they do. You look at it for me.
His players now see kind of boys that the older boys now. They're still get so much value. I feel as if like they're looking after themselves a lot better. Let's see young boys like us like Daz Christie and that, man, Grant Anderson and that. You want to see how they train and how fit they are. Sinky's probably the same. He looks after himself well. Slick's fit as anything does.
Slick after a game, I think it was maybe a couple of weeks ago, after a game, Slick disappeared and then came back in. And somebody said, "Where were you?" And he's like, I was doing my sit-ups and press-ups. I think this was after a game. You're like, Slick's 40-year-old.
Sparred a few rounds and then
Mate,
came
he's
back.
unbelievable, man. But you're right. It's kind of guys who are very professional. You talk about Daz and Grant. You're like, there's a reason they've played at a good level for so long. Is because they look after themselves.
100%. But as I was saying on the Glencairn, because you're thinking that they've lost the likes of Jack McElveen, they've lost Sconville and all that to Talbot, and they lost a couple of players for their team that go to the Scottish Cup final. But they've started the season well. They've not lost a game. That's a great result against Petershill, and they're showing that they've got the capabilities probably to be right up there this season. And well done to them.
Aye, definitely. Borough beating Blantyre 1-0. Blantyre are a bit of a mixed bag this season as well. 1-3, lost 3. But they're a tough team. They're a tough team to beat. I know Gibby will be really disappointed after losing to Nielsen during the week. But I thought they were going to give Borough a good game, and it appears they did. And a good signing for the Borough yesterday as well, Jason Naismith. That's another cracker. And no being disrespectful to like Lafferty and Dorrans, who are at the end of their career. Jason's only 29. That's a right good signing for a guy who has quite a few years left. I know.
And it just shows you, I think, that the Borough are maybe struggling defensively of late, and they can go and I'm sure Cove Rangers are full time and all, so to go and get somebody to go and get somebody of Jason's quality and get him straight into the team is massive. And what he'll do is he'll bring the young boys on as well, and he's going to, as you say, he's not at the wind down his career. He's still got a good few years, and I wouldn't even say as a defender, he's probably around about his prime, maybe the now, because of the experience he's picked up in his career. So, it's a great signing for them. And even at that, Ali Small getting the goal, he's been a good loan signing. He'll be a good loan signing for them. He's scored in his debut against Petershill, and then he scored the winner yesterday. But the Borough, I heard Jamie speaking about it as well. They're disappointed, only took 1 point out of 9. So the most important thing for them was winning the game. By all accounts, we his words that they weren't pretty, but they've won the game. They've kept a clean sheet. They've added Jason to the squad. They're getting a few more players back for injury. So he'll be happy with that. He'll take that, and he'll be happy. And a week's training and a week to get more players back fit, and they'll be stronger again next week. But
that's a good result. Co-winning shots. I don't know if I need to apologise to shots. Basically, I said they were going down. They won 4 in the bounce, and then I say, nah, I've made an arse of it. And then they've only picked up 1 point in the last 2 games. But I'd say that when we
that's not a lost point, by the way. Is getting a point, mate.
I'd say that when we beat Conan aren't they like, they're not a brilliant side, but they are definitely not a bad side. There's quality in there, and they will pick up. Their league position, I think, is a bit false for where they're going to end up.
They're not going to stay down there. And you know what I like as well? I see people on Twitter backing Tiff and all that, and I love that. Do you know what I mean? I love to see fans and management, fans and stuff like that getting behind their manager and having faith in what they're trying to do, and it's really good. And to be fair, he goes in front of the camera every week, man, and has to speak after disappointing results. So no, it's good to see that they've picked up a couple of points. Like they got a good win through the week, and then they've picked up a point there against a team at the top of the league or near the top, and they've took 4 points in their last 2. And as I said to you there, I don't think it's a bad result for shots, because if you look at winning starting lineup and you see the quality of players they've got with Big Dylan, Gav Miller, Mark Lamont, McGregor and all that, Craig Gordon and goal, then can turn there and taking their points, not a bad result. I tell you, see, coming into the season, it could be a very important point.
Thornywood 5-2 against Whitlets. I'd heard that Whitlets were kind of bare bones yesterday. Popey was playing centre half and stuff, is what I heard. So it's been a disappointing start for them, bottom in the league. Only picked up 2 points for 6 games. But Thornleywood, that's another good win for them. 2 wins in the bounce now after no winning any in their first 4. I think looking, maybe I'm being harsh because it's the only game I saw and I've got my bias, my Drumchapel bias for it. I thought that Thornleywood defended really well against us. It was not in any form a classy defensive kind of performance where they were playing for the back net. I'm no kidding you, the ball was sore when it kept going back to the centre halves. It was just getting smashed up the park. But they defended very, very well. They weren't taking any risks. They cleared the lines. What I would say for the back four as well, they were all putting themselves on the line. They were all throwing themselves into tackles and last ditch tackles at times, and it was quite refreshing in a sense for watching teams who play a lot of the back but give a lot away. They didn't give anything away, and then they were good going forward. I think that they'll be a team they will take points off of teams with the way they play.
I'll tell you now, I think that they're one that could slide under the radar and sneak it, because I tell you, I think they're going to get better. I think that they've added and they're going to continue to add players along the season with the contacts that Gomes and that have got. But I tell you what, see what you've just said there? That's even more reason why I think they'll do well, because see that? You can go and try and play fancy football, get caught out all the time and lose games of football, and you get pats in the back with people saying, "Oh, but you try and play good stuff, but you're not picking up points." But it sounds it, they've found a they've found an effective way to play. They've got so much pace up front with Smith and that and all that they
Aye.
can just soak up the pressure and hit you quick on the counter. Look at even Leicester, they played like that when they won the Premier
I
League,
know.
quite soaked up and that. So see if it's effective football. Why try and change it if you've got the players to play a certain way and it works for them? Then I'm all for it. Listen, we would all love to play brilliant passing football, but see that's what it's all about. 3 points at the end of the day, and
Aye.
we've took 6 points in a great week, and I think by all accounts, if you're saying that they're sound defensively, they're looking as if they can score goals. They've got 8 goals this week against good sides, and I do think that they'll be a wee sneaky wee one. They could possibly be, and well done to them on a good week.
I think you're right. Particularly with the confidence they've picked up for the 2 wins, they are effective. And it's like you said, that's hard to beat teams like that, particularly on their part, which isn't always the best. You know what I mean? So it'd be hard to beat a team who are willing to, because they look like they're willing to battle. And I don't mean that in a dirty sense. I mean like they're all willing to get in together for it. But
Yeah,
moving on to the second division, fourth 3, Ardrossan 2, Maryhill 4, Kilsyth 1, the Ants 5, Caley Locos 1, Clyde 3, Wishaw 0. A couple of good results in there. I'm going to start with fourth. I think that's a great result. Ardrossan had won 5 out of 5, same as last year, firing all cylinders, scoring a lot of goals. That's a really good result for fourth to go and take the 3 points there.
great 3 points for them. Really good, really welcomed. I think the boy Jay Keenan's, by all accounts, has been really good on the day, get a man of the match and getting a goal at that as well. So it's a great result, and it just shows you I've got a decent side there, and they'll be delighted with that one. That's a right good 3 points for them yesterday.
Aye, it is. Another one, the Ants, 5-1 against Caley Locos. We spoke about Caley Locos, who they've had a good start. They've had a pretty good start.
Yeah,
Been decent enough this season. The Ants, you've tipped them to have a hard year. They lost
I
the
did.
first. They lost the first game, and then they went 1-3 in a bounce. I mean, they just keep pulling out the bag every year. The Ants are, for me, they're not a team that are going to go and win this league, but they're a team who potentially like a Thornleywood in the first division, who can beat big teams and can go and cause teams issues. And I think that 5-1 is very convincing, and it's an excellent result for them.
Right, I'll tell you, I didn't see that coming in 5-1.
I didn't either, to
Because
be
I
honest.
think, because as you rightly said, I think Caley Locals have had a good start and they've had some good results, and they've shown they've got their own firepower there as well. But so for Danny and his team, what a 3 points that is, and to score 5 goals, and they were at home, weren't they? They won at
Aye.
home. Home, good result, 5-star performance, and he'll be delighted with that. And 3 in the bounce, mate. Aye, they're proving wrong. They maybe never the best start, but it's not always about how you start. It's about how you go about your business, and they're obviously working hard. And Danny's found maybe getting a wee run with no many injuries and stuff like that, and a settled team on the part. And it's paying dividends with them 3 in the bounce, and what a result that is for them.
You know what,
That's one of the results of the weekend.
I'm looking at it. There's potentially a wee typo here because it's saying that the Ants have got 1-3 and lost 1.
I thought it was
They've
2.
only got 6 points, so I think that must be a wee typo. I think it's 2-2. So
I think it was their last 2 they've won in it, but I think they beat
2 and 2.
Bonington and beat
Aye,
them. I didn't think it was 3, but I know that they beat Bonington last week and then
aye.
they've won that. I just couldn't remember how they
2
played
and 2
before
it
that.
is, aye.
Because I'm trying to get it for a lot better, PG. You know, you've got notes in front of you, partner.
So two
A
and
video printer.
two,
A video
two,
printer.
very for an eye. 2 of the last 2, so that was really impressive from. Moving on to another one of my many teams. Maryhill were an impressive win, 4-1 against Gorside. We both said it. We think they'll have a much stronger season this year. Mark's had his year with him, and it's starting to build, and you can see he's starting to get what he wants. He's got Skinner up top as well, who good goal scorer. Seems to be enjoying his time there. That's another good win for them. Takes them on to 11 points, just a point, just a few points with that.
Aye, the boy Skinner's been a great signing for Mark. His name always seems to pop up in getting goals, and as you say, that's a good one for them. Mark's quietly going about his business really well. He's really added a good player for the uni. I think Baxter, the boy, he's a good player too. I remember playing against him when we were at Ashfield, and he was impressive as well. So Mark's going about his business really quietly, and that's the way you want it to be. But brilliant result for him. He scored 4 goals. They've got the win. They've got the park looking well as well. Sean down there in the committee's got the park looking well. He sent me a wee picture the other day, and it's good to see. And no, things seem to be coming together down at Maryhill, and it's good. It is really good to see. It was a club that I know a lot of people down there, and they weren't far from where I used to live when I was a wee boy as well. And I always think I used to love going and playing at Maryhill, just the whole setup down there. And I know you've obviously played for them as well, but you always want to see them doing well. I always do want to see them doing well, and especially Mark as well. So top result for them this weekend.
Bit of sleeping giant as well, Maryhill, to be fair.
Yeah.
Vale Clyde 3-0 against Wishaw. It's six games for Wishaw, 5 losses, one win. We both predicted them to have a hard season. It's no looking great for them. The only bonus they've got is there's quite a few teams in that league who aren't winning very much, so it gives them a chance of potentially staying up. But on Vale Clyde, that was a great win for them. Ardrossan losing as well means there's only 3 points in it, but Vale Clyde have got a game in hand. So that was a good weekend for them because we've spoken about how good a side they are, and they will be looking to, at worst case, go up, looking to try and win the league at best.
They're strong, mate. They got a really strong side. I really like the way that John's going about his job there and the players he's got, and he's got a good mix here between youth and experience. And did you see the strip launch they done?
That was good, wasn't it? Daniel did a good job with it.
Very good, mate, Danny. He's a goalie coach, Danny Johnson, and he done that as well. So that's always good to see as well. Just shows you everybody's mucking in and getting above and beyond, just doing their core duties. They're all trying to help. They're all wanting to make the club better and pull in one direction. And I think they deserve a lot of credit for that. And it was good crack with the boys getting involved in it, especially seeing Big McD and Robbie and all that, Big Lee and all that getting involved in it. And Don, he took the 2 floor maddest ones and tried to get them doing it.
What I would say is they're not the most handsome team in the world, but it was a good bit of fun.
That's nonsense, man. See Big Don. Seen Big Don on the pads, mate. I'm not saying anything wrong about Big Don, the goalie, mate.
Might be able to fight, but he's not going to win any prizes for a beauty contest.
Wasn't he handsome, mate? Handsome goalie stoked when I retired, mate.
Moving on to Division 3. Bellshill 5, Lesmahagow 5, Kello 1, 3-4, Kilsyth 1, Irvine Vicks 1. I think that Lesmahagow and Bellshill are becoming 2 of my favourite teams. I mean, they go are unbelievable. That's Lesmahagow in 5 games, scored 23 and conceded 18.
I actually see when I seen the result yesterday when I was mucking about last night, and I was just having a quiet night and chilling. I was like, I started laughing. I was going to get out, man. They're just like involved in absolute ding dongs every weekend, man.
Mate, they
It's
lost 5-4 last week to Kilsyth. Let's see if we go to here. The first one we did here as well.
Bellshill and all they were
Aye,
close with.
they had a 5 last, and then they had a 7-6 win a couple of weeks ago. Mental results, man. It's class to see. But we spoke about it last week. I appreciate that probably their management team would rather they stop losing so many goals. But
Aye.
see for a neutral, I mean that's brilliant, man. You're guaranteed Lesmahagow or Bellshill, you're guaranteed brilliant football to go down and watch.
No, mate, you're guaranteed goals, mate. You're not going to go down there and watch a stalemate, not an inch, mate.
Nah,
Don't get me
that's
wrong, they'll
never
probably
happened.
keep the two of them will keep clean sheets next weekend.
That's Bellshill. Bellshill scored 10 goals in 2 games, or 10 goals in the last 2 weekends, and only come away with 4 points. You think, how can you score 10 and no have full points?
Anyway,
But
but they've had
aye,
a good start, haven't they? They've
aye,
had a good
definitely.
start.
Definitely. They're doing some job considering the issues they've had over the last year and a half. I think that a lot of credit's got to go to their management, their committee, and their players.
They've
They've really,
steadied the ship,
really
mate.
turned it around. I really turned it around.
They're getting a good wee following and all now, which is good to see because Bellshill, I mind years ago when I started playing junior, Bellshill were right up there in the
I
top
know.
division.
Big side back then. Three beating Kello 4-1. It's just gone from bad to worse for Kello. I mean, they've scored 4 and conceded 26 in their 6 games. You called it early doors. I didn't think it would be quite as bad as this. It's they're getting a going over every week, and I wonder what's happened because they were a good side last year. They were a really competitive team, so I don't know what's going on. But for Thrieve, that was a good win. They needed that because they've no had the best of starts.
Aye, listen, it's a good result for Thrieve and winning the game 4-1. Sounds as if it's a comfortable game. I'm gutted for Kale because they're good people down there as well. And as you say, they had a decent, they had a very good start last season, a tremendous start. They were flying at the top of the league, and then they had a good season. Do you know what I mean? So I really do hope that they pick up. And as I've said many a time before, it is still early days, and players become available, and you can try and pick up things here or there, and you just need one good result to try and swing your momentum. There's a lot of small margins in the leagues as well, so I really hope that they can turn the corner. But well done to Free, that's a good win for them.
Kilsyth and Irvine Vicks, 1 each. Kilsyth, a team that I don't hide. I really like. I like Young Bailey. I think that they're doing good things there. Irvine Vic's a team we've spoken very, very highly for the last year or so. That would have been a good game. I'd quite like to have seen that game because that's
Yeah.
two good sides. And a point, I don't know how they'll be feeling after it, but a point for the two of them is keeping them both right up there in the promotion hunt.
Aye, two good sides, and it just shows you there's no much between them there, and a share of the spoils at that, but also on the goalie dislocating his knee. That's a big blow
Owen,
for him.
I seen that today. Actually, it's horrible.
That's a big blow because I'd say he's definitely one of the best goalies in that division. So for them to lose him, that'll be a big blow, and hopefully it's no longer term. Obviously, I think with these things they have to wait a wee while until swelling and stuff that goes down before they can see what the damage is. But let's hope for his sake that he can get back playing soon. Cause I think he's got a young. I think he's just had a young
It's
family at all,
just a wee, and
and that's not good to hear either because that obviously affects your whole mobility with your baby and stuff like that. So that's sometimes one of the bad things about football. But listen, a speedy recovery to him, and especially with that Derby's just round the corner and all. And how good was he in it last year, mind?
It was
Yeah, right
excellent
good
last year.
game. He had that, so that's a blow to the Vicks.
It is. And former goalkeeper of mine at St Piers, Owen's a good guy as well. So we wish him well. Moving on to Division 4, East Kilbride 6, Carluke 1, Giffnock 10, Royal Albert 0, Lugar 1, Knightswood 2, Rossvale 2, Easterhouse 1, St Peters 1, the Thorn 1. A wee bit to talk about in the 4th division. For me, the game of the day, St Peters and Thorn, bit of a local derby. Two good sides. St Peters had won 5 out of 5, doing really well, then dropping some points, but the Thorn's a good side. Apparently, St Peters were a better team first half. The Thorn have come out being a better side second half, got a point. It's two good sides, two young teams as well, and I think that'd have been a good one to have taken in as well.
I think that would have been a good game, and probably a lot of good football shown, especially a lot of good young players on show. So no, I would like to get down and see some of the teams as well. It's just very difficult with writing commitments, work and football and stuff like that. But no, it's a share of the spoils, and it's still been a very good start for St Peters, and it's still been a very good start for the new gaffers at Thorn. You know what I mean? You take a point in a kind of local derby with a team at the top of the league, and then you go back to work through the week, and then you look at your next game. But it would have been a good tight game, and the share of the spoils is there, and both teams move on. But again, it shows there's not much between the two sides.
Aye, big result for me in that division. One of my results of the week, actually. Knightswood beating Lugar 2-1. Brand new team. We touched on it last week. They had something like 6, 7 teenagers in the team last week. I'd imagine it's probably quite similar to yesterday against an experienced Lugar team who have been about. And that's a really, really impressive win for Knightswood for me.
Aye, and they also drew with Glenville on the Monday night, didn't they?
That's right. The first team to take
And
points
that
off Glenville.
and we were speaking how highly we thought of Glenville and them having a lot of the boys for the borough and that. So what Knightswood are showing is that they're going to have a good back quality, and they've got a say in the league this year, whether or not the young boys will be able to keep that consistency up to push them. But what they'll have maybe in house is they'll be eyeing that wee promotion spot, that wee last promotion spot, and maybe trying to get that. But what they're showing us is they've definitely got a bit about them, and they'll have a bit of quality down there, and it's refreshing to see. But Lugar will be disappointed with that, but I still fully expect Lugar to be up there and thereabouts, because I think that they've got a lot of experience in their management team and that as well, and they know the level and that as well. But also see down there, it's not really the level because a lot of new teams in it.
Aye,
You don't really
it's
know much
unknown
about it.
territory. Aye.
Aye, a lot of it's unknown. You don't know because you get Giffnock that people might not know much about. Dare say people are obviously doing their homework, but because like Thorn and that, and they've came for the armies and stuff like that, and the likes of Knightswood and that, so there is that unknown in that league for a lot of teams and a lot of guys, especially that have been in the juniors early years. But listen, great result for Knightswood. Well done to them.
Good solid win for Rossvale over Easterhouse. Rossvale, we tipped them today well. Once 4 drawn 1, lost 1, having a nice solid season after I think they lost the first or second game, so they've kind of kicked on well for that. And East Kilbride with our boy Adam Edgar just banging him in every single week, and I'm loving seeing it. But East
Great
Kilbride 6-1.
sponsorship.
Mate, it's just how it works sometimes. You just pick certain players. East Kilbride beating Carluke 6-1. Carluke not having a great season. For me, I think they'd be looking to do a bit better than only winning 2 at the first 6. But I want to finish on Giffnock, a special mention to Giffnock, who have surpassed what I predicted for them so far. 3-3. I think that's been for how it's been for them with basically taking Harmony Row and being a new side and stuff. I think it's been a really good start. But to score 10 against anybody is really impressive. But on the flip side, Royal Albert conceded 35 goals in 6 games. It's really no looking good for them. Or even though they never played yesterday, Saltcoats conceded 30 in 5 games. It's really tough for these two who it seems like it's never ending, the hard period they're going through.
Aye. It's actual gutting for they two. It really is, man, and I feel for them.
Horrible.
I feel for them. Royal Albert, man. I feel for Royal Albert. I mean, I've played against Royal Albert loads, early years. Really gutted to hear things like that. But listen, let's not take it away from Giffnock and Keith and that and all, because they had a very, very
Hard
hard
last year.
season last year. Hard year last year, but what he's been in there, it's probably got his motivation back and his enthusiasm even there. He was always enthusiastic anyway, but just having maybe the commitment to the club and commitment to the players and stuff like that, and being able to tap into another club as well and get that quality. And they've started really well. And you're bang on what you say, mate. It doesn't matter who you're up against, mate. To score 10 goals in a game, you really need to be on it for middle to front. And by all accounts, they will be. I'm sure I've seen somewhere there with 9 different goal scorers.
Really? That's impressive. You don't see that very often.
I might be wrong again, but I'm sure I've seen that there was like they scored 10, but there was 8 or 9 different goal scorers as well. And if that's the case as well, then they've all getting in the act as well, and they've all probably really enjoyed it and played with a smile on their face, and what that'll do for confidence. And do you imagine walking into training after the back of your 10-0, man? You're loving it, aren't you? You're getting in with a bounce and a spring in your step, and you're buzzing for the week ahead, and you know the manager the gaffer can't really moan at you for anything. So it's a good feeling, and well done to them.
Aye, definitely. It's an excellent result. Well, that's us for another week. Aye, so that's us. We shall be back next week. I feel something's telling me I might be doing something, but anyway. Aye, that was an excellent week. Good win for the Drum, good win for Pollock. Well done to everybody, and we hope you have a smashing week. Take care.
Everybody take care of yourself. We'll see you next week. Good luck in your games.
See you later.